Didn't want to work in the financial corporate world anymore, so I thought, you know what, I need to make a change. I was always doing stuff in music. I was always organizing events in my hometown in Groningen, which is up north in the Netherlands, and I wanted to do something different. And then actually my sister Jose asked me, hey, you want to come and join the Media Nanny, her company, and help me, you know, build and grow the company. So that's what I did for nearly 4 years. And then it was time for a change again. Also, it was good to have my sister back again instead of working together all the time. So I set up another company called The Brandfather, which is also based here in Amsterdam, and where the Media Nanny was at that time more focused on artists and PR. I wanted to work more on the brand marketing side, you know, working on brand partnerships, brand experiences. And yeah, so we have been doing that, me and my business partner Peter, for the last 3.5 years. Had some tough times during COVID, obviously, no festivals, no events, not a lot of brand experiences. So during that COVID time, we started to explore other possible ways for brands, but also for artists to express themselves or to come in touch with a new audience. That started my interest in digital worlds, in metaverse, these kind of things. So first, mainly from an artist live streaming perspective, like, hey, what can you do as an artist to perform on different platforms on YouTube, Facebook, and a lot of initiatives popped up. You know, there was a lot of new platforms, new worlds being built, and you really saw a push towards this new technology. Some others came together and we were like, yeah, what is missing in this space? You know, it's very, on one hand, it's very crypto tech oriented. Blockchain technology is super important in the metaverse development. And there was a lot of lack of knowledge within agencies, brands, other parties, even festivals, and even artists didn't really know what the opportunities were. So we were like, you know what, we need to come up with an event that is actually helping to educate these audiences. So we set up a new company, or like an events company called AMS, and we had our first metaverse conference and actually it happened in real life, so it was not really focused on digital. It was a real life metaverse conference. It happened in Amsterdam last June and it was quite successful. Yeah, we had like 1,500 people, 2 days, a couple of parties around it, some really interesting partnerships. You know, that's my journey, and now we are advising brands and other organizations on like their metaverse strategy or like a digital world strategy. It depends a little bit what you want. We all need to be honest, like the technology is not amazing yet. You know, there's still a lot of, or there's a lack of audience, or there is, you know, the graphics and the visuals, they feel a little bit outdated. You know, when you go to these platforms, it feels like you have like a throwback back into the 90s, like in terms of a video game or something like that. So, well, you need to be transparent about this, that, you know, the technology is not there where it can be. So our focus this year was actually really on the offline part, to bring people, especially after 2 years of pandemic, bring people together that knew each other from LinkedIn, from Twitter. You know, there's a very much close communities building on a lot of interesting projects, but they never met because due to remote working, one was in India and the other one was in the US and in Europe, and so we wanted to bring these communities together. Instead of focusing too much on the tech and on the crypto side of things, we really wanted to focus on the culture side of things. So we wanted to showcase use cases that from the world of fashion or digital art or music or even healthcare, sports. Yeah, we brought all these use cases and people together to talk about like, hey, how can you use now like this metaverse and NFT and blockchain technology. So we had some online parts. We built a little place, a little world where people could come and meet each other. We had a partnership with an app called Brella. It was also like a digital meeting point. So, but our focus this year was really on bringing people together in real life and make some real connections, because you know everybody's living on their phone or their emails, and bringing people together to network, to chat, to build together. I think that was the most important part of our conference. Yeah, well, it happens. I think some of the best use cases were actually in the fashion world, right? There is like an example, like a very successful company called The Fabricant, which is based in Amsterdam as well. Like they are on the forefront of creating digital fashion. So, you know, everybody wants to, like these days, especially like the younger generation, the Generation Z, they want to show their identity. It's not only their real life identity, it's also their online identity. So I think, you know, with the possibilities of digital fashion, you can actually create your own digital identity and use your avatar on different platforms. And Fashion is one of the best use cases actually for being used in a digital world. There is a use case for a lot for like in the recruitment and training and onboarding sector, like why travel all to one point, use a lot of CO2 with flying. There's now ways to connect on a different level than just looking at a video. So it's more interaction, you can chat, you can walk around, you can do assessments in an online environment. So I think even for a bank, like a financial for the financial industry, there's also a lot of potential just in the training and the e-learning type of category. So I think it can be very exciting for brands. It's not only you see a lot like food and beverage brands. Of course, they also have an interesting use case. It's like a marketing use. It's a new marketing platform for them. It's just to get more eyeballs on their product or on their brand. But there is a whole layer below that where it's more practical use of this digital and metaverse technologies, and I think that is where it gets really interesting. My biggest challenge is our clients that want to go for PR headlines. They say, hey, I want to be the first X brand in the metaverse, but it's not well thought of, it's just a quick win. It feels a bit dirty to me, like as in we say we're going to do this and then, in the end they leave it where it is. It was just a quick headline. So that's my biggest challenge. And then again, it's also probably from a budget and an investment point of view, for building stuff, 3D modeling, creation of assets and all these like all the technical stuff, it's mainly hours, and you need developers and you need designers. A lot of the brands come to me like, I want to create something and I have X amount of budget, which is, it's not enough. If you want to really invest in it, you need to come with a proper budget and really invest in it, or experiment and to be in it for the long term and not for the quick wins. I think that's the biggest challenge right now. A lot of these brands get the following, so there is an appetite for players to interact with a Nike environment or with what I said, like with a Walmart or Gucci. A lot of money being invested on digital worlds and metaverses. So I think a lot of kids will want to follow concerts, and events on these places because they still want to meet and they still want to interact with each other. But if you don't have the money to go every weekend to a concert, maybe there's a cheaper alternative. Concert tickets right now, I think below 50 euros you can't really go to a concert at the moment yet of a medium artist. This is a big problem, right? Before it was a lot cheaper. Festivals did pretty well, I think, the last year here in the Netherlands, but it was still based on a lot of ticket sales from 2019, 2020. I'm very curious how next year will go because there's a lot less money to spend. So I think the trend is that people will go out less and maybe go for a bit more quality, when they go to real life events.